Now, I would like to request Atif Kuludi, Mr. CFO, to brief you about the financials of the Lucky Cement.
Ji, Assalamu alaikum everyone. Thank you for joining our analyst briefing. Arslan, I hope I can be heard properly.
Yes, sir, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, Ji. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Just a quick recap on the group's overview. This time around, Arslan, I think we've missed out the mining segment. We recently made an announcement about the mining segment. We'll talk about later in that presentation. Please, next slide. Next slide.
It's here. Mining is here.
Okay, maybe I can't see it. Okay. Okay, next slide. Okay, so talking about the key events. Just a second. Sorry, there's something wrong with my view. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so if I talk about the bigger events, we recently made an announcement in this quarter about the mining discovery made by our JV, which is National Resources Limited. NRL was formed to undertake mining exploration activities in the Chagi district. The mine is very close to Reko Diq, which is a large-scale project with very good prospects. So basically, what we've achieved during the recent months is that you perform a scout drilling, which is a very high-level kind of an analysis based on drill holes you make in the land. And then you analyze the amount of metal in form of gold, copper, and other minerals that you come across in that activity. So what has happened is that these results, there were approximately 13 holes that were dug in, and the results from majority of these holes are encouraging. But you know, it's very important that we take a balanced view on this discovery, because there are several milestones still yet to be achieved before you could actually say that the potential what potential of these mines is actually in terms of gold, copper, and other minerals. So clearly, and I think we also mentioned it in our notice, that we are clearly 3 to 4 years away from the actual results coming out, and we still have to conduct a lot of feasibility studies around this project. So we are not putting any numbers around this, but this is just to share that the results of the exploration so far are very encouraging. Then the volumetric dispatches, local cement demand continues to remain challenging, but the growth that we've achieved during the quarter was mainly coming from exports. Then our foreign operations, mashallah, they continue to show very good performance, and then we'll talk about that later in the presentation. Then we announced a 5-for-1 stock split. I think because of that, the market cap has shown encouraging performance. Our share performance has been good, but let's see how it turns out going forward. Then during the current 9 months, our 28.8 megawatt captive wind plant declared its commercial operations, and post this addition of wind capacity, now the company's 55% of the power generation requirements are coming from renewable sources, which includes solar, wind, waste heat recovery. Plus, we are also in the process of adding battery storage to our Karachi plant. Our North plant was already completed, which has given good results. So we are adding battery storage. which basically optimizes and makes the renewable renewable consumption much more efficient. Next slide, Arslan. So during the current year, if I talk about the local sales volume, because the overall market demand has gone down because of the high interest rates, high inflation, lower spending on public sector development projects, large scale mega projects by the government, the spending has been in control. So, which is why the demand continues to remain, stagnant and has slightly reduced, which is why Lucky's total local sales is at 4.5 million tons versus 4.9 million tons the last time. But our market share is, mashallah, more or less intact. Export volumes have shown a very good growth. The pricing is also gradually improving. The profitability of export is improving. We were able to export to US. That was the latest mentionable market where we exported. So our exports now stand at 2.5 million tons for the 9 months out of total 6.5 million tons. And for the out of the industry, this is a 61% market share. So standalone revenue in terms of this is cement only. All the arrows, mashallah, for revenue, EBITDA, PAT are pointing upwards. Profitability in terms of standalone PAT was higher mainly on account of other income, which is from mutual funds, which we get from our surplus funds that we have available, and obviously the dividend income from all the subsidiaries that the investments that strategic investments rather that we've made in the last several years, they continue to reap good results and pay good dividends. Similar to the standalone results, if I talk about our cement, the power segment, the chemical segment, the acquisition of Pfizer, mobile segment, autos, all these segments, they continue to, mashallah, perform very well, which is why our profitability is at 63.1 billion rupees. And our earning per share stands at 39.1 rupees. So I hope we've made it abundantly clear in our disclosure that this EPS of 39.1 is on a post stock split basis, because our shares were prior to the stock split, we had 293 million shares, and now the number of shares stand multiplied by 5. And coincidentally, all that has become effective today at the PSX, and the trading in the new shares has started today. So the EPS obviously, has been restated for all years so that, you're able to make a like-to-like comparison. So the EPS stands at 39.1 rupees, which is around 15% higher versus the comparable period last year. So the outlook, I think most of our businesses are linked to what the economy will look like in the coming quarters. We feel that the lower interest rate, lower inflation, devaluation, stable currency, all this will support the cement, chemical, autos, and mobile segment. Whereas electricity will continue to track the power demand in the country and the issues around secular debt and the issues with the overall energy network that we have in the country. So overall the outlook is I would say stable. But let's wait for the next 3 months, and maybe at that point in time we are able to say that the outlook may turn to positive from stable. But at the moment we're saying that our outlook remains stable. See, I think Arsalan, we've covered all of that, and maybe I think we can now take the Q&A.
If you have any questions, please type in the chat box. Please type your questions in the chat box so that I can read it loudly.
I mean, normally, the questions I get, I've just written down some of them over here. So the average retention for the outgoing quarter is around 14,500 rupees for the third quarter. Then coal cost averaged around 35,000 rupees, because we are now using a mix of international and other coal that is available. So generally what is happening is that for our south plant we are using imported coal, whereas for the north plant we are mainly using local and some Afghan coal. So that's the mix, and then the weighted average of all of this is around 35,000 rupees if you take the quarter as an average. Those are the two questions I normally get. Export prices, with the quarter started from clinker at 30, cement at 40. And there has been some improvement in the prices of clinker recently, but because of the competitive scenario, I would prefer not to talk about that. And maybe by end of quarter we will be able to share exactly how much profitable was clinker exports from Pakistan. जी अरसलान, any आपके पास आए कोई सवाल और?
Yes, sir. Kindly share future dividend guidance.
Dividend, I mean, just we are in the 9 months, so let's just wait for the annual results.
Can you can you comment on the operating conditions in Iraq and your expectation for future there?
So the operating conditions in all, mashallah, 3 locations are foreign cement operations in terms of domestic demand, domestic pricing, the profitability that is driven from there, the efficiency projects. Then we are doing a expansion of our clinker capacity in one of the locations in Iraq, which is inshallah expected to come online very soon in the next couple of weeks. We're very close to announcing that commercial operations. Then there is a cement capacity addition that is happening in Iraq. That should happen within this calendar year. We should be announcing. So the results are very encouraging, and if you just do a breakdown of our consolidated results, you'll be able to see that the foreign cement operations continue to add a significant amount to our profitability.
Is utilization of Lucky Motors improving in 9 months?
Yes, so the overall auto industry has improved. The demand has improved by 55%. And for the mobile segment, there has been some challenge with the demand, where the demand has gone down by around 11% because of the GST levy. But overall, I mean, autos utilization has increased, whereas for the mobile segment, the demand has.
What is the current local and Afghan coal prices?
Yes, so I just talked about that, right? I mean, there's not a lot of difference between all these prices, so it is better just to quote an average of all of that, which is 35,000 rupees.
What is the recovery ratio of LEPCL?
So NEPCL, because the government has made some efforts for resolving circular debt. So there are overdues, and then we continue to engage with the government for recovery of our old outstanding overdues.
What is the current cement price and what's the outlook?
So the average, I mentioned the retention, because the current cement price does not really matter, because that keeps changing week on week. So it's always good to take a quarterly view on that. So like I mentioned, it has been very much similar in north and south. The average was around 14,500 rupees. And it seems that, because the demand is gradually picking up, and as we come out of the high interest rate and high inflation scenario, so we feel that with the demand, the prices should improve. But at the moment, the retention numbers are what I've shared with you.
Profit from joint ventures appears to have reduced in third quarter. Any specific reason?
Sorry, Arslan, say that again.
Profits from joint venture appears to have reduced in third quarter. Any specific reason?
No, I don't think that's a correct analysis. There's no significant difference in third quarter and second quarter. The results are quite stable.
The company currently holds a cash balance of 64 billion. Could you please share if there is any upcoming capex requirement, particularly related to NRL?
No. So clearly, the cash that is there is we have some efficiency projects within the company that is going on, but that's like maximum within 3 to 4 billion rupees. The significant amount of cash that you see on the balance sheet is reflecting the growth and the dividend that is coming in from the investments that we've made, and the strategic, I would say, avenues or new investments that we are looking at. And obviously, whatever is left after that strategic investment, then we need to have some cash for contingency purposes. So that this cash is as a result of combination of two things: future investments and contingencies.
What is the total cost for clinker expansion project in Iraq?
Arsalan, I missed your question.
Sir, what is the total cost for clinker expansion project in Iraq?
I think we've disclosed that figure. If not, we will share it separately with them.
How much local coal company is using in Pizu plant?
So the local coal is around, majority is local coal. Afghan is a much more smaller component.
Given the current economic condition, how does the company view the outlook for cement demand in fourth quarter and next full year?
I mean, fourth quarter trend will most likely be similar to what we've seen in the 9 months. I don't see there's going to be a substantial shift with one more Eid falling during these 3 months. Plus, the monsoons may start. So whatever change is going to happen in next year. And where we are standing today, I expect that the next year cement demand should be stable to slightly positive.
What is the current capacity utilization of cement plant?
Generally, if you see, for our Karachi plant, remains at almost at 100% utilization because of exports. But our north plants, there's a lot of inventory management that is happening. So what you do is that you run your bigger lines for a per couple of weeks. You then accumulate inventory, and then you gradually get rid of that inventory. So if you see, the overall utilization is at around less than 50% for our north plant, because the exports does not form a substantial number in the north.
Sir, any comment on royalty situation?
So royalty, if I don't see why anything in the country would be any different from what is happening in Punjab. So the Punjab government tried to peg the royalty on minerals to the cement price, and there are some legal issues with doing so, because when you link royalty with goods, the goods is a federal subject, whereas royalty is a provincial subject. Plus, there are also issues with the fair value of the minerals. If you link the, I mean, I'm talking about Punjab only. If you link the royalty to 6% of cement prices, what happens is that the minerals become so expensive that that price is higher than the fair market value of those minerals. So it's a kind of a non-sustainable kind of a proposal. So we don't think that this would happen in the remaining provinces. So we are hopeful that there is no substantial change coming in the remaining provinces, especially after what has already happened in Punjab.
As a result of installing battery storage at Karachi plant, what will renewable becomes as percentage of total power mix?
So what happens is that the battery storage that we normally see at smaller sites, let's say at your home, where you use the battery to completely shift the load on the battery. So the purpose of installing a battery at a manufacturing site is very different, because the energy is coming from multiple sources. There is thermal there, and then in renewable you have 2 3 sources, right? So to optimize the use of energy coming from all these sources, as well as to keep the operation stable, the battery is used. So just as an example, to explain it in a better way. So for example, if you don't have a battery, you have to operate let's say if you have a 5 megawatt generator, and if your additional requirement, your contingency is 2.5 megawatts. So you need to continuously run that 5 megawatt generator, so in order to avoid any fluctuation. So what's happening is that you're wasting that 2.5 megawatt. So when you have a battery storage available, you then don't need to run that generator for the fluctuation, and instead the battery takes over that fluctuation if, let's say, there's a cloud cover, or if the wind speed suddenly goes down. So just to answer your question, actually, the battery storage is not to enhance the overall capacity of renewables. It is to make it more efficient and more economical in terms of cost.
What are the GP margins of pharma sector?
Pharma sector, Arsalan, we will have to share it separately. There are 4 to 5 separate margins over there. And ICI is separately listed, so I'm sure you can figure this out from their financials.
Sir, I don't see any other questions. What is the capex requirement for NRL development projects?
So I mean, obviously we have our internal numbers and planning around that. But so just to give you an example, how this works is that the more difficult the mining will be, the more capex it will be required, and the lesser feasible, the exploration projects will become. So right now we're exactly doing that. We're assessing how deep the metals like gold and copper are available, and what is the quality, and what will be the resulting capex that will be required for this exploration and mining. So I mean, this is the exactly the purpose of doing feasibility studies. So we are still far away from estimating that expenditure.
What are the main factors driving cement demand in current economic environment? Interest rates, government projects, or any other thing?
I think the government projects is the biggest government projects, or the mega projects that come in. Those are going to be the biggest drivers of cement demand, and this will be followed by if and then already we are seeing that because of low interest rates, if auto sector is picking up, cement demand should follow very soon.
We have one hand raised from a foreign investor. So I would like to unmute.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Sergej, you are you have been unmuted if you have a question.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we
Yes,
can hear
we can
you.
hear you.
Apologies, the microphone had some trouble. So, sorry for waiting. So, my question is on your car joint venture. It seems like the Chinese EVs are entering Pakistan very aggressively with very competitive proposition. So, I was wondering whether your joint venture with Kia has anything in the pipeline that could compete with them. Do they have any EVs planned that you could launch in Pakistan?
Yeah. So Mr. Sergej, if you study the autos market domestically, Kia was one of the first movers when it came to the new brands that came in Pakistan, both Kia and Peugeot. And our strength is around the I would say the large dealership network that we have compared to the Chinese competition, where you only have EVs and not a lot of dealer and maintenance network. So I think we have an edge there. But apart from that, so far the new models that we've rolled out in I would say in quite the upper segment, we have a EV9 which is already launched. Then we have a EV5, and then in the latest launches also in Sportage, there is a hybrid model. So we're already there, but our model ranges are I would say catering to a slightly different segment of the market. But that doesn't mean that we're going to stop. There's a lot more hopefully coming in the next I would say quarters to come.
Thank you.
Arslan, there was a question on coal price outlook. So I would say overall, the commodities have right now they've become soft, whether it's Brent and WTI and coal. But we really need to see the impact of this US tariffs I mean, overall, it seems that on Pakistan, the impact is going to be neutral because we are going to save on our fuel import bill versus how much we are going to get hit on the exports. But the commodity space to me seems very volatile right now in terms of the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months. But right now, the coal prices and commodity prices are very soft and beneficial for the business. So I think, Arsalan, we don't see any more questions for quite some time now, and it looks like we have covered everything. So thank you everyone for participating in our analyst briefing. There were 1 or 2 data points, which we will share with you all separately, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.